Did you know that depression affects over 17 million adults in the US alone? But it's not just about feeling sad, it's about a deep, overwhelming emotional struggle that often feels impossible to escape. You may think depression is just about having a rough day, but the truth is far more complex. It's about a tangled web of biology, environmental influences, lifestyle choices, and even mindset. For many, it's like being stuck in a mental fog where everything feels out of reach, and simple tasks become mountains. But here's the catch: understanding the real causes of depression can be the first step in breaking free from it. By the end of this, you'll discover how to uncover the root causes of depression and take practical steps to reclaim your emotional health. Whether you're dealing with genetics, trauma, or unhealthy habits, the path forward starts with understanding, and from there, healing begins. Ready to uncover what's really behind your mental struggles? Let's dive in. Depression isn't just a bad mood that you can shake off. At its core, it's deeply tied to biology. Think genetics, brain chemistry, and even hormonal shifts. For instance, some people inherit a predisposition to depression, meaning their family tree may hold clues to their emotional struggles. And let's not forget brain chemistry. Imbalances in neurotransmitters like serotonin can mess with your emotional equilibrium. It's like trying to run a car with a clogged fuel line. Nothing's working smoothly. Speaking of hormones, life stages like puberty, pregnancy, or menopause can flip the emotional switch in ways that feel out of control. Take postpartum depression, for example. After childbirth, women experience a dramatic drop in estrogen and progesterone, which can spark a whirlwind of emotions. Recognizing these biological triggers isn't just enlightening, it's empowering because it gives you a place to start understanding what's happening beneath the surface. Here's where it gets really interesting. External factors like stress don't just cause depression, but they can amplify these biological tendencies. Let's say you're predisposed to lower serotonin levels. Add chronic stress from, say, a high-pressure job, and you've got the perfect storm brewing. But there's hope. Practices like regular exercise have been shown to naturally boost serotonin levels. Even a 30-minute walk each day can start resetting your brain chemistry for the better. So, what can you do with all this knowledge? Start with small, actionable steps like seeking professional help to explore if medication or therapy could address potential imbalances. Pair that with mindfulness or stress-reducing habits to create a powerful combo. And while we've talked biology, that's only part of the story. Next up, we'll dive into the environments around you, because sometimes, what's outside can feel just as heavy as what's inside. Imagine growing up in a home where arguments are the norm, or carrying the weight of a traumatic event from years ago. These experiences leave marks, sometimes invisible but undeniably powerful. Trauma, stress, and life events shape mental health in ways that are hard to ignore. For example, someone who's lost a loved one might find themselves stuck in a loop of sadness and guilt, unable to break free. These emotional scars don't just fade with time, they need care, attention, and often, healing interventions. Chronic stress is another culprit that often flies under the radar. Think about the toll of juggling work deadlines, financial struggles, and family responsibilities all at once. It's like carrying a backpack that keeps getting heavier every day. Over time, this constant pressure wears down both your mental and physical health, leaving you vulnerable to issues like anxiety, depression, and even lowered immunity. That's why recognizing these triggers early is so critical. What's amazing is how your environment can also be a source of healing when you let it. Nature, for instance, has a way of grounding us. Just a short hike or even sitting in a park can lower stress hormones and improve mental clarity. One study found that spending at least 2 hours a week in nature significantly boosted well-being. If you've ever felt your shoulders relax and your mind quiet after stepping outside, you know exactly what I mean. If your environment feels toxic or overwhelming, there are steps you can take to shift things in your favor. Start small, reorganize your space to feel more calming, or consider setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. Sometimes, even choosing a new hobby like gardening or journaling can create an emotional safe haven. But here's the thing, while environments matter, your daily choices hold even more power. And that's exactly what we'll explore next, how your lifestyle can shape your emotional health like never before. Let's get real, your daily habits have a bigger impact on your emotional well-being than most people realize. Sleep, for instance, is like hitting the reset button for your brain every night. But when you're running on fumes, everything feels harder, your patience wears thin, your focus slips, and your mood? Let's just say it's not your best. Research shows that getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep can drastically improve mental clarity and resilience. Struggling to sleep? Try winding down with a warm cup of chamomile tea or journaling to clear your thoughts before bed. Then there's nutrition, what you eat literally fuels your brain. Ever noticed how a greasy fast food binge leaves you feeling sluggish and irritable? Contrast that with a colorful plate of fruits, veggies, and lean protein, and you've got a recipe for better focus and mood. Omega-3s, found in foods like salmon or walnuts, are especially good for brain health. Want an easy fix? Start your day with a smoothie loaded with spinach, berries, and a splash of almond milk. It's a small habit with big returns. Exercise is the unsung hero of emotional health. You don't need to run marathons or spend hours at the gym to feel the benefits. Even a quick 20-minute dance session in your living room can flood your brain with endorphins, the feel-good chemicals that make stress melt away. Plus, regular movement strengthens your heart, boosts immunity, and sharpens your mind. It's like hitting the jackpot for your physical and mental well-being in one go. Here's the kicker, these lifestyle tweaks don't just improve your mood, they set the stage for long-term emotional balance. The trick is consistency. Start small, like swapping out one unhealthy snack a day or committing to a 10-minute walk after dinner. And as you build these habits, something magical happens, your perspective shifts. You realize that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. But if lifestyle is the foundation, mindset is the glue that holds it all together. Ready to dive deeper? Let's face it, your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Negative thought patterns, like constantly doubting yourself or assuming the worst, create a mental loop that's hard to escape. It's like wearing dark sunglasses indoors, you can't see the light even when it's right in front of you. The good news? You can retrain your brain to focus on the positive. Start by practicing gratitude. Each morning, jot down 3 things you're thankful for. It might feel silly at first, but over time, this small act rewires your perspective. Self-perception is another game changer. How you talk to yourself matters more than you think. Imagine someone who constantly says, "I'm not good enough," versus someone who reminds themselves, "I'm learning and growing." The difference is night and day. If you've been stuck in a negative self-talk spiral, here's a simple tip: every time a harsh thought pops up, counter it with a kinder one. For example, replace "I always mess up" with "I'm making progress every day." It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Visualization is another tool that can help shift your mindset. Picture yourself succeeding, whether it's nailing that big presentation or simply having a peaceful, stress-free day. Studies show that imagining positive outcomes can actually increase your chances of achieving them. Want to give it a try? Spend 5 minutes before bed visualizing your ideal day, down to the smallest detail. Feel the emotions of joy and confidence as if they're happening now. It might sound a little woo-woo, but hey, even top athletes swear by it. Here's the best part, changing your mindset doesn't just make you feel better, it transforms how you handle life's challenges. Over time, you'll notice that setbacks don't hit as hard, and you'll bounce back quicker. But mindset isn't the only thing that builds resilience. Up next, we'll explore the hidden strength in the people around you, because no one thrives in isolation. Curious? Let's dig into the power of social connections. Remember how overwhelming it felt to face the weight of negative thoughts, stress, and emotional struggles? Well, now you've got the tools to start shifting your mindset and your life. Whether it's improving your sleep, building stronger social connections, or addressing the biological factors at play, you're already on the right path to healing. It's time to take action. Start applying these insights, and watch your mental and emotional well-being transform. And if you want more practical tips to boost your health and happiness, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next steps that could completely change your approach to life.